sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I am making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, yes, it's back up and running. Go to Reaver.one. That is REAVER.ONE and click on the live stream. If you like this live stream, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And last but not least, if you want to support the show, support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store, pick yourself up a t-shirt, coffee mug, many items to choose from. And as it's a custom on Wednesday, we have a guest. You there, Spanky?
What?
Exactly. Crash called in, as he normally does on Wednesday, and we're going to go over a couple items. How are you doing?
You know, same old, same old. Still living in this crap hole of a state. They're trying to screw it up even more than they already did.
That's politicians for you.
Yeah, it's just, pretty much normal. I actually spent a little time on social media this morning, which I haven't done in quite a while because it was irritating me way too much. Took about 10 minutes and my blood pressure raised about 40 points, and I got pissed off and turned it off again. So that's probably about it for me on social media for a while.
Yeah,
some of the crap that's floating around. I mean, and some of it, what really amazes me is the people that are spouting some of this stuff and some of the correlations people are coming up with. It's just, it's absolutely mind-boggling to me. Some of it I can see a little bit of point of view on. I respect everybody's points of view. Some of it, I just kind of wonder what the hell did you bump your head into this morning before typing that out? It's just...
People don't think when they type on social media they have no repercussions or worries, so they say what they want and don't give a shit.
I really try to be very particular when I reply to anybody on social media. I'm not nearly as into it as you are with a lot of the stuff. But
I don't want to be, but
one of them was a friend of mine, an ex-coworker, a close friend of mine, put up a thing about, history lesson. Freeing the slaves, this many Republican votes, this many Democrat votes. Equal voting rights, women's suffrage movement, end of segregation, the whole thing. And then put down some of the stuff that's happened more recently, and it's the complete opposite. Kind of pointing out that, the Republicans are not as bad as everybody portrays them to be. She got lambasted for it. Oh, well, why don't you pick some stuff actually from this century? Point some stuff out that actually occurred in this century, not in last century. That's when the Republicans were the good guys, and now they're just right-wing, extremist, religious nutcases.
God.
And I'm sitting there, and I just had to point it out. I pointed out the one about, this century. And I was like, okay, we want to pick on this century. Well, the century just started. We're only 16 years into it. Not a whole lot has happened. We've only had 2 administrations so far. So why don't you look at the death? And he's like, well, I'm talking about the 1900s. Well, that's last century, moron.
Yeah.
It's like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, they try to degrade other people. When you point out their mistakes, they get all pissy about it. And no, you don't understand what I'm talking about. Well, you don't understand what she was talking about either, you fucking jackass.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, there was one that was put up, and I'm not going to name it. You might have actually even seen it. I don't know, because I think you follow the same person. It was a share of a comparison. And the comparison was, the gun rights, being able to purchase a firearm, and they compared it with being able to obtain an abortion. You should have to watch these videos. You should have to go through protest lines. You should have to have doctor consultation. You should have to get the parental permission. And I'm sitting there reading this, and I'm like, okay, one, I think this is a crappy comparison. All right, and two, obviously
they're both taking lives.
Doesn't know a whole lot about either one of the processes. Because one, you don't need parental permission to get an abortion. All right. One, if you're an adult, your parents have no say. Two, in a lot of states, you get knocked up, you are considered emancipated. You do not need to get parental permission. They try to tell you do, but legally you don't. It was just like all this crap. It's like, where do you start? It's all political agenda bullshit. Because half of it is stuff that I've never seen in the real world. I've only ever seen it on political spin. Ever.
I kind of understand what they were posting about, though.
It's absolutely... one that I kind of agreed with and kind of didn't, said the problem with what happened in Orlando, it was not a problem of one person getting a gun. The problem was the other 103 didn't have guns.
Well, I'm going to get lambasted for this, but I don't exactly disagree, because what it is Florida has the law. It's a felony to carry a gun into a bar because of the fact you got a bunch of people drinking, and they are going to be not in the right mind that they should have a weapon like that.
Yeah,
at
and
hand. It's a.
That's why I was kind of like, you know what? I can see the point of view. I can kind of understand it to an extent. But on the flip side, essentially grouping everyone in the victims and kind of pointing out that they all should have been gun owners, I don't think that's accurate. I don't think
they
that's
might have been
correct.
gun owners.
And I agree with you. If you're coming out to a nightclub to whether it's have one drink or get completely blasted, it's not really the place for a firearm to be.
Yeah, it's...
Responsible gun owners, even if it was allowed for them to bring it in there, most responsible gun owners would not.
But that also goes to the point. He broke a law, and it's a felony to bring a gun into a bar. So he broke the laws.
The thing is, every single one of these shooters breaks the law.
Yeah, they commit
They've
murder.
all done it. And actually, I have to thank you, because I think you were the one that posted it, and it was probably the one thing I actually did enjoy was, did you put up the link for the comparison of an AR-15 assault rifle versus assault weapon thing?
Yes.
Okay. Put that up on your website. That was, it was all information I already knew. However, I loved the way it was portrayed.
Yeah.
And I loved what I especially loved was when he turned around and said, well, they banned all the quote-unquote high-capacity magazines. So what, this shooter, what all these incidents did, they bought twice as many magazines.
Yeah, and that's...
it didn't change anything.
I had that discussion with my in-laws Monday night. And one of the things I did is I showed them there's a 223. One's a bolt action. It looks like your typical hunting gun. Now, it does come in a semi-automatic version. And I showed it to them. They were like, yeah, so that's a hunting rifle. I went, yeah. But you want to ban the AR-15? They were like, yeah. I was like, it shoots the same bullet.
Yeah.
And they kind of looked at me, and it was the AR-15 look scary. Well, it's a military weapon. No, the
No,
AR-15 is
it's
a
not.
civilian weapon. After the design by Armalite, they designed it. They tried pushing it to the military for the military to buy. They did not have the stronghold within the military. They did not get the contract. They sold the design off to Colt. Colt did some modifications, then was able to sell the M16 to the military, which ended up becoming the M4, which is the modern-day version. There's several different varieties of the M4, but the AR-15 is a civilian rifle, not a military, a civilian.
The thing is, the whole thing, and this is what everybody gets hung up on, and I get the biggest kick out of it, is like, well, it's got dangerous features. It's got this. No, it doesn't.
It's got a pistol grip.
Okay? The freaking pistol, the damn grip, the method that I use to hold my firearm is based on what I'm using. I mean, what is it shooting, and what's comfortable for me. Like, I can put a pistol grip on a shotgun if I wanted to.
Not in New Jersey.
It changes my shooting style. Yes, actually, I can.
Did they change it? Pistol grip was illegal for a while on a shotgun.
No, it's okay. Well, now here's where they get you. Okay, and it's the same thing with the AR up here, because it's significant. It shares significant similarities with a military version, then it's considered an assault weapon. It's all cosmetic.
Yeah,
and that's the thing I get. That's the thing I really get a kick out of. Where they get you is 2 or more features makes it illegal. Well, now here's the catch. What do most pistol grips for a shotgun or even a rifle? Let's stick with a shotgun. What do most pistol grips also you end up changing out with it? Your stock, right?
Yeah.
Well, what's the most common stock? Collapsible or fixed?
Collapsible.
Yep,
and that's actually a nice safety feature because you can adjust it for the different arm reaches of people.
The problem is the collapsible stock with the pistol grip can put you right on that cusp line to it's now an assault weapon. If I just put a pistol grip on, then I'm right on that cusp line of illegal length. That's how they get you.
Yep.
I put a barrel shroud on it. It's to protect your hand from getting burned if you grab a hot barrel. Now, most shooters know not to grab a fucking hot barrel, but it's also the other side of it, too, is I'm out at the range and I'm going to be shooting a lot. I might need to lean my gun up against something for some reason. Well, if I've got a hot barrel, I don't want to lean it up against a creosote tree or, railroad tie, because that's what they use up here for our stops. I don't want a hot barrel leaning up against that. It's going to transfer the shit onto my fucking gun. You know?
It's people that don't know about weapons talking about weapons.
Yeah.
And what's worse is there is a memo that has been leaked that Hillary had received. I guess it was in her emails. And the memo made clear that Al-Qaeda in Iraq was speaking through Mohammed Adnani, who is now the senior spokesman for ISIS, also known as ISIS. It was a memo thrown around that Obama supported them in the original stages. So a lot of these people saying, well, Obama created them, and everybody going, oh, you're a tin hat wearing, no. Well, I hate to tell you, it seems that there is memos running around that Obama did support them, did help create them. They were fighting against Syrian dictator Bashar Assad, and they were also being helped propped up by Russia, Iran, and the Chinese. Or excuse me, Assad was being propped up by Russia, Iran, and the Chinese. My bad. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, the thing is, though, it doesn't surprise me, but it also wouldn't be the first time that we've supported a group militarily in some capacity for one reason that turns around and bites back later on. I mean,
yeah, but here's the problem.
That's really how the Taliban ended up getting started, too. I mean, we were
but it was Al-Qaeda.
It
was Al-Qaeda. The groups we were fighting in one country and the country next door were helping them.
Well,
that doesn't make sense to me. And I mean, they came out of Al-Qaeda. In fact, in Iraq, we were hunting down, al-Baghdadi? And, I mean, that's who Chris Kyle, one of his missions was to try to find him. The guy was a sick bastard. His weapon of choice was a drill. And he's the one that helped start ISIS. But yet we're going to support them because of Assad? See, that's the problem when we outsource our military efforts to other people. It never works out good. That's something we should be handling ourselves. But this came from August 2000. A secret classified memo was sent to various top Obama administration officials and agencies, including the State Department, and to Clinton's office personally. I wonder if this was all from the leaked, not leaked emails, but email server that was wiped clean. So, we're going to change up a little bit because I know I don't have you for super long.
You got me for maybe another 20 minutes, maybe 30.
Well, we also got a commercial coming up, too, so.
Dang commercials.
A day after the shooting, House Democrats erupt in protest. House Speaker Paul Ryan did a moment of silence for the victims of the terrorist attack in Orlando. And I think it was 3 Democrats right before it, were disruptive, screaming and yelling. But then when the moment of silence came, they walked out in protest. Even House Democrat leader Nancy Pelosi stayed and said she supported the moment of silence. The moment of silence is not being silent on the action that happened. It is giving respect to the people that died. It is honoring those that died. And those Democrats, in their little childish temper tantrum because they want to push gun control on top of a terrorist attack.
Again.
Yeah. Walked out.
Yeah, it was nothing more than political posturing. It's them trying to just get their 5 seconds of fame for, we stand together. Well, only thing you did was be disrespectful to those families. Okay? The fact of the matter is you're sitting there, you're blaming it's the Republicans is the reason why we can't get anywhere on gun control. That's the reason why. Yeah, okay. The assault weapons ban that was in effect for 10 years. Yeah, how much impact did that have?
Actually, it had a negative impact because violent crime went up.
From the Department of Justice, I mean, there was numerous studies that were done before, during, and after that stupid ban, and it did not help. It did not help. The whole reason why it never got redone, and Pelosi and Feinstein and a lot of them keep trying to push it, the whole reason why it's not going anywhere is because it's not going to help. You are going after cosmetic features. You are essentially, you're going after something that is completely stupid to go after. Okay, you're saying that the AR-15 is an assault weapon. It's a big, scary, bad boy toy that causes massive destruction. It is the most commonly available and utilized sporting rifle for competition, for hunting, and for just normal enjoyment
all around
in America. Okay, it is the most commonly used rifle, just the same as the musket was hundreds of years ago. Right? It's the one that is in most common use. The same as, I believe, with shotguns, the Remington 870, if I'm correct. That is the most commonly used shotgun in all of its different flavors. All right? Now, the 870 is also used by our military and by the police as a tactical tool. It was also used by Holmes in the shooting in Aurora at the movie theater years ago. But I don't see them jumping up and down saying, well, we got to ban the Remington 870. No, it's because it's the most commonly used. Everybody uses them. Most of the people use it correctly. We'll leave that one alone. Well, why is my AR up for grabs? Okay, why are you not also going after, let's see, what with pistols? What's the current one now? Is it Smith & Wesson? Are they the ones?
I thought it was the Beretta the military was using. They just switched over recently.
Oh no, I'm just talking about we're talking about it's the most commonly used, but it's also a scary weapon. Beretta,
Glock.
Let's see, Beretta, Glock, and I think Smith & Wesson M&P.
Yeah. Well, Springfield's up there too.
Beretta was the biggest, I want to say, in the 90s, and they had two different versions, damn near identical. One was marketed to the military, and there was a variant that was marketed to the civilian population.
You also have to understand there's a new thing they're doing. They're kind of stepping away from using the word assault rifle because they found out it's not working, so it's a new word they're using. Military-style weapons.
Yeah, military style. Hey, guess what? The Army, you know what? Let's see. I'm going to go back to the shotgun. All right? Just keep it simple. Remington 870 is one of the most popular ones. All different flavors. Military uses an 870, same exact thing that I could buy now, but they've got the shorter barrel on it. It's all black, and it's designed. They use it for a tactical purpose. They use a Benelli, can't remember the model, and Mossberg 500 or 590, I believe. Those are the ones that they use. Now, the irony is, if you want, they are very nice firearms. They also have a bit of a sticker price. You go for a discount model, a lower-end model, because you want something, but you can't afford the $400 or $500. Well, Mossberg makes a discount model that looks damn near the same as their 500. And other than two parts, everything's interchangeable between the models. But it's half the price. But it looks scary because it's black. Because that's the only color they sell it in. Because it's like a $180 shotgun. It's a cheap shotgun. They're not going to put a whole lot into it. But it works. Well, I know a lot of people up here that buy that for that purpose. It's a cheap utilitarian. I can go out hunting with it. I can shoot some skeet with it. I can use it for defense if I want to at my home. But it looks scary.
And that's what it comes down to. Hey, it's that time. I got to interrupt you. It's that time.
Yeah.
All right, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense. Whoops, wrong goddamn. I'm still trying to get used to this damn program. Shut up, Crash. No laughing, no giggling.
ID10TR.
Yes, it is an ID10TR. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, and ICRN. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I am making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. Where were we? I'm going to jump right back into this quickly.
Let's see. Well, we were just talking about, different, this whole stupid thing about assault weapons and how they only pick on certain ones. And it's nothing more than cosmetics.
And that's what it's cosmetics, and they're just trying to... Listen, some of these anti-gunners, they don't want to ban. I understand that. You don't want to ban weapons. You just think certain weapons are too dangerous for the street. I can understand your point of view. I don't agree with it. I can understand it. But what you have to understand is the final end game with the Democrats and all of these anti-gun fucking cultists is an outright ban. And don't tell me they don't want an outright ban, because if the Democrats didn't want it, why did they spend millions of dollars on a think tank on how to ban weapons? And tell me...
They've even said it. There has been documented proof. What was it? Feinstein. If I
Feinstein, Hillary Clinton.
America and turn in your guns, I would have done it. I just didn't have the vote.
Hillary Clinton,
guns.
Hillary Clinton, we need to look at Britain and Australia, what they did, and emulate them. Yeah, and it's gotten so bad in Britain with the violence that they're trying to ban knives now. That's how bad it is.
I mean, Christ, look at the statistics. The annual statistics released by, it doesn't matter which group you grab it from. You'll get different numbers with each one, so you'll get different percentages. But look at the overalls. CDC, FBI, wherever. More violent crimes and deaths are perpetrated with objects other than a firearm. Yeah. By far. Knives, hammers, screwdrivers. Just take your pick.
There's more deaths by blunt objects, more murders, I should say, by blunt objects than by assault rifles. That's by FBI stats, by the way.
The thing is, just going back, the popularity. The reason why you can say, well, that's because most of the guns, when it does involve an assault rifle, it's always the AR-15. Well, that's because it is the most commonly available and commonly used firearm. So, hence, it would be more common that happens. I could turn around and say, more motor vehicles involve cars. Gee, wonder why there's more cars than trucks on the road. Come on. It's just, it's lunacy. I mean, libtardinitis to a whole new level.
Exactly. It's banning weapons is not going to stop this, because banning weapon only stops law-abiding citizens from having weapons. San Bernardino shooters, because they love to bring that up, did not get the fucking AR-15s legally. They got them illegally. And no, the shit of you can go to the state next to you and not. You can get a gun without a background check through gun shows. Bullshit. Bullshit. They still have to follow the fucking laws. I'm so sick of this shit. The misinformation that's put out there. It's scary how much misinformation is put out there about guns. And how these people are so irresponsible that they don't go and look the information up, that they're willing to be spoon-fed bullshit and tell us that it's a gourmet meal. God damn. It's not...
It blows my mind. I still cannot get my head. I cannot wrap my head around. I have yet to find any logic in.
There is no logic. No logic.
I mean, I know you and I have had this debate before. I mean, we are both pro-gun. We are both very in support of our Second Amendment. There are certain situations, not situations, but there are certain firearms. Do I believe that Joe Blow off the street should have access to every single firearm ever manufactured? No, I don't. I personally don't see the need for it. But just because I don't see the need for it doesn't mean that somebody else does not. Okay? I mean, machine guns. I like you brought that one up. Those have been heavily regulated for, God, I can't even remember when that damn law went into effect. Like early 80s?
80s.
Those were
late
banned?
80s.
Okay? You can get them legally.
Yeah.
I could legally get a quote-unquote machine gun, but I have to jump through so many hoops to do it.
So many federal permits, and you have to give up the right.
It's pointless for me. But the fact of the matter is, it is still available. It's just so heavily regulated. I don't entirely disagree with the regulation on that. Not entirely. Partly I do. I think a little bit of it's overreaching and intrusive, but just the same as, I mean, what is it? The cooling. What is it? They used to call it the cooling off period. You could buy a rifle the same day but you had to wait like a week to get the pistol, that type of thing.
Yep.
I mean,
no, that's a loophole. That's a loophole.
That's a loophole. Yeah, why is that a loophole?
Because it's Democrats being fucktards.
I mean, I really don't agree with it, but that's kind of one of those. And unfortunately, this is how we got to this point. I don't really agree with it because if I've got a nefarious purpose, I can use anything. So it really doesn't matter. But so like I looked at that one as kind of like, okay, that's a gimme. You know, all right, we'll give you that one. Leave the rest.
Well,
of the
it goes
alone.
to these dumbasses. Hang on, these dumbasses think these dumbasses think that there was no killing before the invention of the guns. Humans did not kill each other before the invention of the gun. It's only because the gun do we kill each other. You fucking retards! Pisses me off. Sorry for screaming in your ear, but
no, that's all right. But, like, I mean, New Jersey takes it a step further. Every 30 days, it's not like there's not a cooling off period. I actually have to go get a permit for every single pistol I want. They're only good for the permit's only good for 90 days, and I can only get one permit every 30 days. I mean, I can only pick up one pistol every 30 days. Why? Are you telling me that I can do that much more damage with 3 pistols than I could do with one? Last I checked, I only have 2 hands.
Because they're fucking dumbasses and they want to jam bills up your ass and make as much money as they can while they're screwing you over.
Well, yeah, and that's real. I mean, up here, that's exactly what it is. Every single one of those permits thing is like $20.
$20 here, $20
every
there.
single permit, and every single time I go to use it, I have to pay for a NICS check all over again.
Yep. Yeah, but wait a minute. Background checks aren't done in this country. Nobody gets background checked.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so that fee that I was told.
Damn, we're getting ripped off because we're paying for background checks, but we're not having them done. Holy shit, we need to start a mass lawsuit against all these gun stores. Class action suit. I mean, they're charging us for fucking background checks. We're standing there, we're filling out the paperwork for background checks, but according to these retarded left-wing jackasses, there's no background checks.
Here's one for you. I don't know if you've heard this one. Okay, up here, if I go, let's say I wanted to stop at the sporting goods store of my choice right now. If I want to buy 22 caliber long rifle ammunition, because it can be fired from a pistol as well as a rifle, I have to show my ID, and it gets logged in a book. My name, my identification number.
Because that will stop the terrorists.
It goes into a book. It goes into a log, just the same as if I buy a gun.
That log book is going to stop the terrorists from attacking us.
Well, now here's the really good one. Okay, if I buy rifle ammunition, like at 5.56, I buy ammunition for that. Well, there's no log. Oh, here you go, sir. Just go to the register, check out. I went to buy shotgun shells to go to the range a couple months ago. Birdshot, here you go, sir. Buckshot, here you go, sir. Can I get 2 boxes of slugs that are on sale? I need to see your ID. And they logged it in with the pistol ammo.
Please bend over. We need to do a proctology exam. Make sure you're not hiding any terrorist in your ass.
I also think, wait a second. Why do I have to have my shotgun ammunition logged? Well, the law is if it's a single projectile that's being fired out of a barrel. I was like, you're new, aren't you? That's not the law. Well, that's what I was told it was. I was like, it could be store policy, but that's not the law. If you're going to say something's the law, learn the law before you preach it. I'd like to speak to your manager. And his manager said,
hang on. One of our listeners is in the chat room, and she said the thinking out of the Democrats is hold the pineapple, throw the pin, kind of stupid fucktard.
What?
You hold the hand grenade and throw the pin, kind of fucktard.
Okay, I'm just thinking of Pauly Shore in the Army now. Drop the pin, throw the grenade. Drop the pin, throw throw the grenade.
Drop the pin. Or,
Drop the grenade, throw the pin.
Thank you, Jenna. That was needed.
Oh, that was beautiful. But yeah, they're trying to track. I mean, they're micromanaging firearms to a point where really what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it so goddamn restrictive that people just don't even want to deal with it. And you know what?
That's what that think tank came up with. Make it so restrictive that nobody can get it. They don't want it. They give up on it. And when you ban it finally after several decades, they don't give a shit because they couldn't have it to begin with.
Exactly. And now the funny thing is, I mean, I'm not going to speak for everybody out there. I'm certainly not going to speak for you. But because they do that, actually makes me more likely to want to go out and get something. It actually pushes me to want to do it. And I'm going to eventually say I'm not alone on that. Every single time they jump up on their soapbox, we've got to ban all the scary weapons. AR-15 sales skyrocket. Every goddamn time.
The gun stocks went up like 10% on Monday morning.
Every single time they do this, it happens. You know, I mean,
Obama has been
ridiculous.
the number one gun salesman for 7 years running now.
You know, the funny thing is, like, okay, that shotgun situation. I can't go hunting with slugs right now. Deer's not in season. The funny thing is, I bought more slugs over the past couple of months that I can't even use for almost half a year. Simply because the store was ignorant. And I wanted to keep pointing it out to them. Because you keep wanting to push an agenda on me.
Well, that's up down here. They're crying about the lack of gun regulations, even though all these were compromises when the Constitution was redone in Florida for the gun laws. And they're screaming about, you can buy a 50 caliber gun. Yeah. Yes, because we've seen so many crimes with the 50 caliber rifle being committed.
Yeah, right. The thing is, okay, one, those things are prohibitively expensive.
Oh,
I mean, you're talking
$14,000.
Easy. I mean, a stripped-down entry model that will dislocate your shoulder on the first round is still going to cost you about $6 to $7 grand, easily. Add to that, I think it's what, $10 a shot?
Something ridiculous.
Something like that. People that use those, long-range marksmen.
Yeah.
Competition.
Again, it's people not understanding. And the politicizing that, and we were discussing on the last break, and I know I'm jumping on subjects and jumping around. One of the things we're talking about is everybody jumped on Trump, bashing him. He politicized it. Hold on. Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, you had a Democrat for the state of Florida, a black older lady, and I'm just because I don't know her name, I'm trying to give a description of her, not because she was black. So you take that theory and shove it up your asses. And what does she do? She goes off about gun control. We need to start banning guns. I'm going to talk to Governor Scott, and we're going to change these laws and stop allowing so many people to do this. Obama comes out, talks about the banning of the weapons, politicizing it. Hillary does it. Politicizing it. It's okay. Donald Trump does it. He's an evil, evil man for doing it. What the fuck?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No. Are you on way back out of the store?
I'm in the store getting lunch right now.
No.
Sorry for the beeping.
No problem. I know what your PIN number is by the beeps now. It's beep, 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 beep. Well, just like, what is it? Obama not too long ago and Biden were up there saying we don't need guns that go pew, pew, pew. Hell, my guns are safe. They don't go pew, pew, pew. They make loud booms. It's the left will do anything to try to push their agenda and destroy the Constitution. Hillary Clinton has already said, as president, the government has the right to regulate and govern every constitutional right. They can change it. They have the right. They have the right to regulate it.
When was that stated?
Not too long ago. Seriously, maybe a month ago, she made the comment that our constitutional rights can be governed by our government. And it wasn't the Second Amendment. It is all of our constitutional rights can be regulated. So she's saying that they can regulate who gets a fair trial, who gets a speedy trial, who has the right to
Thank you very much.
not burden of proof, but for search and seizures of houses. Who gets the right to free speech? And that is exactly what she's saying, and she's out to push. It's not just guns, people. And she feels she does not have to go in front of Congress. She is going to govern, be a president, the same as Obama. Pen and paper and do what the hell she wants. And if the House and the Senate doesn't do what she wants, like a little child, she will just use her pen and paper. Now, last time I checked is, in America, we have a government that doesn't do what the president tells them to do. They act by we the people, not we the president. But that's what the Democrats think this government has turned into. And it's...
The whole reason that those documents exist, the whole reason there's all those amendments and provisions in there is to protect the citizens from overreaching. That's the whole reason they're there. So, I mean, that's complete backwards comment.
Oh, I know it's a backwards comment, and it's a scary as hell comment.
Well, yeah.
We're in trouble, people. We are in trouble. It's... We have a government that thinks it is a ruling government. It's not long if we keep letting these fucking Democrats in there and we don't rein in these Republicans. It's not going to be long before we have a ruling party and the free country we once loved will be dead and buried.
The thing is, and it's not just, I mean, like we've said plenty of times, it's not just one side or the other. I mean, really, we got to get rid of the inaction that's down there.
Yeah.
I mean, they are all they're so in love with themselves, and, some of them do have some good motivation, some don't. I'm not going to say they're all bad. However, nothing's getting done. I mean, I want to say it's because of this side that nothing gets done. Well, no, it's not really. It's because both sides are not doing what their electorate wants them to do. They're not being the voice of the people anymore. And they haven't been for a long time. And it's statements like that, it's the government's job to interpret and rewrite my constitutional given rights. No, it's not. It's not the Supreme Court's job to rewrite my constitutional rights. Now, it is their job. It's their job to interpret those rights, but not to rewrite law. And the funny thing is, it seems like we're getting more and more stuff coming out of D.C., coming out of the Supreme Court, that is essentially rewriting how things are done, or actually changing the law. That's not the way it's supposed to be. But again, we have allowed this to happen.
Yeah.
This is not the Republicans' fault. This is not the Democrats' fault. It's not the fault of any one person or any one group. It's the fault of everybody in this goddamn country.
We became too complacent. Everything was going...
Goddamn head in the fucking sand.
Well, everything was going so great for a long time. It was why rock the boat? Everything's going great. And they didn't realize what was actually happening at a slow pace. These past 7.5 years, they kind of went from step 20. Yeah, but also the government went from step 20 straight to step 100. And that's when the people went, wait a minute. I noticed something here. And then when we started looking, it was, holy shit, look what they've done over the years. Yeah. But they've done it at such a slow pace, nobody recognized it's the frog in the water. Well, they turned that water up a little too high, and the frogs have noticed.
I mean, honestly, I will give one. I mean, I do give credit where credit is due, and I will give this administration. Shut up. I will give this administration credit for one thing, because I do have to admit they are far better magicians than anybody I've ever seen in the past. Because when you want to talk about sleight of hand, here, look over here while I'm actually doing this over here, and you'll never notice it. They have fucking perfected it.
Oh, hell yeah, because I know it's going to sound bad, but I've been looking through the news, trying to see what happened elsewhere with the shooting. It's a horrible thing, I know, but I'm trying to see what else happened that's being covered up. Because it just seems like every time these shootings happen.
I hate to do the whole tinfoil hat theorist thing, but I'm sorry, it's just it seems like there's just way too many conveniences with how stories are pushed and when they're pushed. I mean, right now, everybody is all over this. Now, it was an exceptionally tragic thing, and I'm not going to pull away from that. Okay? That would be disrespectful to the victims, their families, and everybody else affected by this.
Yeah.
But this is getting so much publicity, yet there's other. I mean, people are still killing one another in Chicago.
Yep. Oh, they just had a bad weekend
going on, but they don't jump on the gun bandwagon with, oh, this is why we have to stop it. Look, all these people are shooting each other. But hey, guess what?
No, because Chicago proves
because it doesn't serve a political agenda. It's not going to help them.
Because they already have strict gun laws and they're shooting each other up.
Yeah, and guess what? It's all illegal. Guess what? It proves that their theories are bullshit, will not work, will not help, and it actually does the exact opposite. Okay? A gun-free zone is a target-rich environment.
Yep. Exactly. All right, we're coming up on a break, so I'm actually going to try to cut out early, make it easier on my editing. So you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. And we can't forget ICRN, our new radio station. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Much Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I am making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat room button. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to reaver.one. That is REAVER.ONE, and click on the live stream. Do not forget to hit subscribe and leave a comment. If you want to support the show or support SHR Media, go to reaver.one and click on the Reaver store. Pick yourself up a t-shirt. We have SHR Media t-shirts. We have Reaver of Common Sense t-shirts. We have Hillary's yearbook picture t-shirt. We have Hillary's $12,000 t-shirt. Check it out. One of the things I noticed last night, we had D.C. primary elections happened. Yeah, nobody was talking about that at all. That was a quick little blurb that Hillary won D.C. There was meetings between Hillary and Sanders. And, yeah, it's just really barely made the news. So all this elections are rigged headlines that are all over the news are nowhere to be found. Not saying that's why we had the shooting, but it just weird on the timing of all this stuff. It's really, really makes me wonder. It does. I don't know. Maybe I need to start wearing a tinfoil hat. Maybe I don't. I don't know. So, let's see. What else do we have? Obama warns that terrorists would win if Donald Trump became president. If Donald Trump is elected president, the terrorists will win. That is the implicit message President Barack Obama issued during a dramatic speech this afternoon condoning Trump's tough anti-terror proposal after terrorist attack at a gay nightclub in Orlando, Florida, killed 49 people. How is it that him speaking tough about terrorism, him speaking tough about Islamic extreme terrorism, how is it going to help ISIS? How is it saying that he wants to destroy? Because I will say this, you ignoring it for the past how many years? 4 years? 3 years? Well, you sure as hell are not winning the war on terror. As much as you keep saying, you told us last year that you had ISIS on the ropes and were almost destroyed. And then, what? There was a big attack in Paris. This time you waited till after there was an attack to say, we have them contained. Again. And that's what you said after this terror attack happened. You don't have squat contained. You couldn't contain a dead fish It is sad and sick that you're such a failure and you got to come out and push these lies onto these people. And it's just as bad that these people believe your bullshit. You're out there saying that they're on the ropes. They're contained. They have no money. They can't do nothing. We had just had an attack on our soil, and then there's an attack in France again. But they're contained. It is sickening. The delusions that you feed onto the American people. And to sit there, and now they're trying to make it Trump's fault for Obama's failure. It's Trump's fault, I guess, for San Bernardino. It was Trump's fault for the Sarnak brothers. You know, the list goes on and on. This is not Trump. And if these people are not Muslims, why is saying they are extreme Muslims helping recruit? If Muslims are, as they always say, the religion of peace, why is it saying these people are extreme Muslims helping their recruiting? Contradictive statements are being portrayed in the media. Yeah, and there was a Muslim Somalian, thank you, Jenna, for reminding me, that fired some shots in a Walmart. You hardly hear about that. And the wife of this terrorist out of Orlando, I'm hoping to hell she gets indicted because she is just at fault. She had chances to call the police to let them know what was going on. She could have saved a lot of people. So I don't want to hear, because I know the defense is going to come up how she was an abused wife. But it's seeming that, just as the case in San Bernardino, the wife is the one that converted the husband. It might be, again, the wife who came over and converted, finished converting, whatever terms you want to use. But I got a really painful ingrown fingernail that's bothering the shit out of me. So, as I'm speaking, I'm trying to find it and yank it out, because it hurts even if I'm not doing nothing. So, I don't know. This world is scary, and not scary that if it was just me, I wouldn't give a rat's ass. If it was just me, I wouldn't care. But I have a daughter, and that's where I care, and I would care, but I wouldn't be as... I wouldn't know how it would feel to have the daughter, so I wouldn't have this protective stance that I do. We are allowing, as people, so much shit to be done in our country that's destroying our country and leaving this crap world for our kids. Jenna, I think they're using that he is a closet gay, trying to make that as a mental, not gays, but he had that mental issue because he was living a different life, and it just sparked him to go on the shooting because he was torn between. They're trying to make that insane aspect and not a terrorist aspect. I think he was going, and it makes sense that he was going to the gay clubs because he was casing them. He was casing, now they're finding out, he was casing Walt Disney World here in Orlando. That was one of his targets. In April, Walt Disney World had contacted the FBI about him. Now, it's strange because I was sticking up for the FBI, and now it seems they have a third issue. That a third flag was raised. And I don't know. There was a lot of flags raised about this guy, and I'm not trying to throw FBI under the bus here. I'm not. But I know this gentleman didn't do anything illegal either, but it's starting. He should have at least had flags on his file, so when during a background check, it should have popped for a hold for further review. I don't know. And I don't know what to think about what happened in L.A., but still would not surprise me. That wasn't some kind of plan for ISIS. And ISIS has... They don't step up and admit failed plans, which is smart of them on a tactical level. So that what happened in LA was a total failure, so they don't want to take responsibility or have anything to do with that because it was a failed attack. But I don't think there's any linkage to anything to do with extreme Muslims. So I'm not sure. They're keeping that one pretty quiet and under wraps. Now, I'm pretty sure if there was a successful attack, we'd be hearing a different story. I'm not sure. They could have the information that it was a terrorist type attack, but they're trying to keep it under wraps to keep calm in the country, to make it seem like we don't know anything. There's tactical reasons why not to admit that it was a terrorist attack. So, I don't know. But blaming Donald Trump, and I keep hearing it, making a proposal that departs from the constitutional values of America and the values of American citizens. But what the Democrats several times throughout the history has banned, even Muslims before, the Democrats have stopped Muslims from coming in the country because there's issues. That's okay. But when a Republican makes the suggestion, it goes against the direct values of the United States. Someone please explain that. Only when it serves their political needs is it the proper thing to do. Because let's say Trump gets in office and he starts writing some executive orders. You're going to hear the Democrats crying up a storm that is not the way governing is to go about. But they'll sure as hell justify it when they're in office. A lot of double standards when it comes to the Democrat Party. And I'm about sick of them. I'm not saying Donald Trump, as a president, should be doing a bunch of executive orders. That's not what I'm saying, so no hate mail on that. It's using it as an example. I don't think these executive actions should have anything to do with the country. If you want to write executive actions because you want, as your presidency, you want certain things to be done in the White House your way, that's what it's there for. It's not there for you to subvert around Congress because you're not getting your way. That's what I'm talking about. And we need to do some kind of amendment, whatever. Put rules in there that stops a president. And maybe not even executive orders, because I know Obama has not been using executive orders as much. He's been using executive memos. And I know how Democrats love to play the word game when they're basically the same thing. Just like when on the deportations. You want to know how Obama gets those high numbers? It's easy. Because if someone comes to defense, a checkpoint, and the papers are not in order, and they say, no, we can't admit you into the United States, you have to go back and change this on your paperwork. And the person turns around and is denied entry into the United States. That is a deportation under Obama. Under no other president was that a deportation, but now it is. And the jobs. I never liked the number, whether it was Obama or Bush or Reagan or whoever, using the unemployment number as a gauge. Unemployment number shows who's on unemployment. People have been out of work and can't find work so long, they are not eligible for So it marks them as being off unemployment, and that is marked as going back to work. So those numbers are very much skewed. Oh, but you want to talk about the stock market's up. Oh, yes, stock market. Stock market's flying high. But yet, there's no jobs out there. Companies aren't expanding as they should be. They're not hiring like they should be. The stock market is up. That proves, well, our government has been artificially inflating. And what I mean by that is they've been buying stocks and bonds to help bolster the economy and the stock market. They keep buying daily, monthly into it. And that's keeping it at artificial inflation rate to keep it from crashing. And one time that I noticed that our government said a couple of years ago that they were going to stop doing it and they were going to slowly back out of it, it took a nosedive to the point that they had to say that they weren't backing out. So whenever we do decide we're going to have a crash on the stock market, there's no question about that. Just to what degree? We're going to have to stop artificially inflating it. because we're doing no better than what China does. Oh, it feels much better. I don't know if you ever had an ingrown fingernail and it's on the inside corner and it's just digging into your finger. And it's just got like the sharp edge pressure. And they're hard to get to. Oh. So. It's constitutional value. And I know I keep going majorly off topic from the discussion. But constitutional value of America is protecting U.S. citizens at all cost. We don't care what if it hurts somebody else's feelings. The job is to protect Americans. And yes, I understand that he was a citizen. But no one's been able to answer me where his original birth was of this terrorist. Because according to his Facebook profile, he was born in Pakistan. So that doesn't, he could still be a citizen because he was given, his parents were given, I think, asylum into the United States, which I really question why was his parents given asylum. Being his father ran for president of Pakistan or Afghanistan, Pakistan, Afghanistan. And was pro-Taliban. He still supports the Taliban. But yet, why was he allowed into the United States? Taliban has been fighting us for decades. The father did not hide who he was. He couldn't hide. I mean, he ran for president of Afghanistan. Holy shit, I keep really... I don't know. I do not know. What I do know is... Yep, it's getting about that time. It is not Donald Trump's fault. Obama is trying to blame and hopefully hurting his reputation. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio and ICRN Network. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I am making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, if you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. And don't forget to subscribe. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. Pick yourself up a t-shirt, bumper stickers, coffee mugs, you name it. I think it's there. Just the NHL, the buyout period starts 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. And the Flyers, I think they might, at least one person might be getting bought out. I wish there was two. But so, yeah, one of the things they went over, I breezed through Fox to see if there's anything on the terrorist's wife. They were showing how Hillary and Obama almost spoke the same speech about Trump. Seems to have the same writers. It's kind of disgusting. And it's I find it funny that how many people are attacking Trump? How many people are going at him? that kind of solidifies my support for Trump. When you have to go at them like they are, and I love how Obama now tries to use that it's a constitutional value he's attacking. The man doesn't even know what the fucking Constitution is. He has attacked the Constitution for his whole fucking 7.5 years. And now he wants to try to talk about the Constitution. And we're supposed to believe his bullshit. And what's funny is that anybody see with Trump's speech, right afterwards, Obama and Hillary came out, and they were pissed. They were pissed because he forced them that they had to say extreme radical jihadist Muslims. He lambasted them so bad, Obama had to go out there and say those words that he has chosen to not use for, 4 years now? He was pissed. Hillary was pissed because he's pushed him into a corner that they have to say things that they don't want to. And they have to also, what's funny, is do the lying because they're trying to say, well, Trump's trying to paint all Muslims. No, he's not. No, the people are not trying to paint all Muslims. We're painting this group that's doing the attacking. And they do have a Muslim connection. Whether they are distorting the facts, distorting the religion, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to go to the doctors and have a doctor tell me that I have this swelling in my chest, and maybe if I took some Advil, the swelling will go down, but the whole time he knows I have fucking cancer and is not going to treat it because he's afraid to say the word cancer. ISIS is a cancer. ISIS is a Muslim group. They are an extremist group. I am not afraid to say it. Why is our president? Why does he get all mad that he had to say it? People need to know what we're up against. That's the problem. You don't want them to know what we're up against so you can hide the facts of what the fuck is going on. So you can keep painting this little picture of everything is hunky-dory and rosy. As Americans are getting murdered because of their sexual orientation. Americans are getting murdered when they went out to a club to have a good time. You talk about gun bans. Well, guns are banned in the state of Florida in bars. Goes to show, gun bans do not fucking work. Period. So tell me again how banning weapons is going to help. And I'm sick of that. We should be talking about this terrorist. We should be talking about the victims. We should be talking about their families. But no, the Democrats have us changing subjects. I don't want to be sitting here preaching and going over the stuff that I've gone over numerous times. But the problem is, if you don't fight back against them, they think they've won the argument. the people in the minority think they're the majority at that time. I don't want to be talking about a lot of this crap. But I have to. Because we got to keep fighting for what's right. We got to fight to protect our Constitution. So, my heart goes out. I know what they're going through. The ISIS wants us, hates us because of our freedoms. And what does Obama and the Democrats want to do? They want to take our freedoms away from us and try to tell us that it's to protect us, to make us safe. They are given the illusion of safety and not actually giving us safety. Only way we're going to be safe is if we cut out this cancer. And what do you do when the body has cancer? You give it an extreme, you attack it hard. You give a heavy dose of radiation. Well, what do you think we should be doing with, hi Cal, ISIS? I'm not saying we should nuke them, but we need to hit them hard. We need to treat this aggressively. Not sitting back and, well, we can talk to them. We can talk about hugs. We could talk about love. We could talk about cutting their money off. Yeah, that might work in over a 30, 40, 50, 60-year period. They talk how Obama's been successful. He's killed, 128 leaders in ISIS. But when you bring up that they've killed over 300 and some civilians. Oh, no, you can't compare the two numbers together. That's not right. Why? Why can't you? You're throwing out an arbitrary number, so I'm going to throw out a number back at you. My number, you say, doesn't fit the narrative because you don't want it to fit the narrative because it blows your narrative out of the water. We need to hit this head on. Yeah, and that's I said that earlier. I'm not sure, and I don't think he was gay. He was casing it. He needed to. He was at Disney World casing the place. And Kel is in the chat room. She said she doesn't think he was gay, that he was casing his victims. He was being acting weird enough that Disney World noticed him. Not only noticed him, they called the FBI and said they think this gentleman is casing Disney World out for an attack. This was in April of 2016. But because of our president and his mandate to scrub all this, and yes, I will be talking about that tomorrow, there is a gentleman whose job was, he said he was watching terror cells that had to deal with San Bernardino shooters. He believes he was on the way to stopping anything from happening out there when all that information was erased by the order of the president for political correctness, because we don't want to profile, we don't want to upset people. Well, this president is directly responsible for the deaths that are happening because of his views and his attitude towards Muslims. He cares more about them than he does the American citizen. He was not elected to be the leader of the Muslim nation. He was elected to be the leader of the United States of America. I'm tired of these attacks. That's 2 attacks that have happened too close to where I am. This goes, and I can't say it enough. People need to wake up. We've been talking about it for years now. That attack like this was on the way. How these Muslim groups do not, well, it's not that they hate gays. They think that they are freeing them by killing them. And that's what they do. They kill gays. But yet the gay groups keep backing the Democrats keep backing the Muslims, and the Muslims keep killing the gay people. Can anybody see a issue with that, a problem? I've been attacked because I pointed that out, and it's, oh, you're homophobic. No, I really don't give a shit what your sexual orientation is, who you sleep with. As I said, as long as you are not harming somebody, that is your business. It's 2 adults consenting. So no, I'm not homophobic. I'm pointing out real events that are happening that people are ignoring in this country. And for how long? How long have we been talking about that? And how long has... And this isn't something new that the Muslims are killing gays. It's not new. And they said that will never happen in the United States. That's not going to happen in the United... Well, guess what? We never thought we'd have over 2,000 people killed in one day from a terrorist attack. And that was with box cutters? I know. And the regulations and the bans that we put in place on box cutters after... Wait a minute. I'm sorry. We didn't ban box cutters. Over 2,000 people were murdered that day, and not a box cutter ban brought up. Well, I'm pretty sure we banned, fertilizer and diesel fuel after Timothy McVeigh blew up a building. Nope. No bans on fertilizer or diesel fuel. I'm sure there was a ban on pressure cookers after the Sarnak brothers blew one up during the Boston bombing, or used it as a bomb. Nope. No bans, no mentions of bans on pressure cookers. I know the stabbing out in California on the university where there was several people stabbed with a knife and the guy was screaming Allah Akbar. That must be where they're going to draw the line and call for a ban. No ban on knives. But they sure as hell want to ban guns. This has nothing to do with the attacks. This deals with they want to disarm. And when you disarm, you're only disarming the legal, law-abiding citizens. That's it. You're not doing it to anybody else. The criminals, the terrorists, they're still going to get weapons in. How easy it to get weapons across the borders? I don't know. Ask, what was that jacket? Eric Holder. He was getting weapons across the borders pretty damn easy. And they've come back across the border and have been killing Americans with them. You know, it just thought to me. A thought just came to me. This administration has been very successful at one thing. Creating and arming enemies of the United States. Creating and arming people that are murdering Americans. Eric Holder, as Attorney General, was arming cartels. Obama, according to these memos that have been leaked from the White House, was arming and helping a group of Taliban fighters who became ISIS. They've been successful, this administration has. They've single-handedly killed how many of us? And there's people in this country that still applaud the jackasses. They think it's great. Oh, he's done such a great job murdering off Americans. Oh, look at that. He wants to ban guns because I don't like guns. Oh, we're going to take the guns out of all Americans and make them defenseless. And then all the criminals are going to put down their weapon when they see us unarmed. And the terrorists are going to put their arms down and not attack us anymore. You're a special kind of fucking stupid for thinking that. And no, I'm not being exaggerating on the statements. The Democrats have said that. I think it was Feinstein or Pelosi said that once the criminals see that the citizens are unarmed, they will lay down their weapons. Josh Earnest said just recently that once the terrorists see that the Americans have given up their arms, they will lay down their arms and stop attacking us also. How do these people get jobs and power and be so fucking stupid? Please, somebody explain that to me. I may not be smart enough to figure out how they got jobs and positions and being that fucking stupid. But at least I can comprehend that if I lay down my weapons, they're not going to lay down their weapons. No country has laid down their weapons and the other countries laid down theirs. Especially when you're at war with them. When one country lays down their weapons, that is surrender. And that's what the Democrats want us to do. Surrender. Because ISIS isn't going to surrender. Nope. Let me see if I can find that real quick before we go off air. Let me see if I can find this. I'm on load up. Sorry about this. I know it's last minute, but I want to try to sneak it in before the end of the show. Come on, scroll down. For some reason, all of a sudden, my internet is like taking a huge crap on me. Here it is. Back it up. Ready?
Bismillah, wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala. This message I deliver to you, the people of America. I deliver this message to you, the people of Britain. And I deliver this message to you, especially the people of Australia. And I say this about your coalition. You threaten us with this coalition of countries. Bring every nation that you wish to us. Bring every nation that you want to come and fight us. It means nothing to us. Whether it's 50 nations or 50,000 nations, it means nothing to us. Bring your planes. Bring everything you want to us, because it will not harm us. Why? Because we have Allah Azza wa Jal. And this is something that you do not have. Is it not apparent to you? How are these victories possible? These victories come only from Allah Azza wa Jal. And that is how, with these small numbers of soldiers that we have, we take these massive victories. And to the leaders, to Obama, to Tony Abbott, I say this, these weapons that we have, these soldiers, we will not stop fighting, we will not put down our weapons until we reach your lands, until we take the head of every tyrant, and until the black flag is flying high in every single land, until we put the black flag on top of Buckingham Palace, until we put the black flag on top of the White House. We will not stop, and we will keep on fighting, and we will fight you, and we will defeat you bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Takbir! Takbir! Dawlatul Islam! Takbir!
And that is what we're up against. They're not going to give up that easy. They're not going to lay down their weapons just because we lay down ours. And right now, the Democrats are doing a filibuster in the House, mandating gun control be pushed through. Thank you for joining me. I will talk to everybody tomorrow. Actually, tonight, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. Have a good day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.